Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's topic of discussion, we're going to look at Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 2. Now version 2 is the most recent update to the formula for the rinseless wash. I bought an 8-ounce bottle, that's why it looks different, rather than investing in a bigger bottle. That way, what is this, almost 34 ounces, 1,000 milliliters, versus I believe this is 250, so 8.45 ounces. Because I still have quite a bit of version 1 left over. I still have this unopened bottle, and I have some from a previous bottle that still has some in there. And you're probably asking yourself, what did they change for version 2? Really, if you want to read this entire website, I will post a link to this so you guys can actually look at it if you want to purchase this. But I'm going to go ahead and just go to the bottom here. If I can get down here, come on, laptop, and I'll just go down to the benefits of the rinseless wash here. It says it's versatile. Mix it to either waterless or rinseless car wash dilution. Superior lubricity with smart surfactant technology that attaches and dissolves contamination, offering a truly deep cleaning. Safe for all vehicle exterior surfaces: paint, plastic, rubber, carbon fiber, carbon ceramic brakes, and anodized aluminum, etc. Rinses thoroughly, ensuring a pristine surface free from any residue, including the Rinseless V2 solution used prior, and unveiling the true condition of the surface. Absolutely no fillers, harmful chemicals, builders, or caustic residue left behind. A perfect wash solution for prepping or maintain your ceramic coated vehicle. And of course they have a video here on their YouTube channel if you want to watch how they do it. Pretty straightforward stuff on here. The main focus of version 2 is they took a lot of the feedback from version 1. The Achilles heel for version 1, streakiness on glass. So they've supposedly addressed that with version 2, and they basically state that it's streak free here in this statement. There is multiple uses on how to wash this, or how to use it as a wash, because you can use it as a waterless wash, as a rinseless wash, and you can also use it as a traditional wash, where they tell you here, if you're going to use it as a traditional wash, and it's kind of weird the wording that they use. It says V2 can be used in a traditional style wash using a foam cannon or foam applicator. I don't know what the foam applicator means. Is that a foam gun? I don't know. A foaming pump sprayer? I honestly have no idea, because I've never heard that term. So you can use it that way. But I mean, if you're going to be using it as a traditional wash style, just use their pure wash, or use whatever shampoo you want to use. They talk about how you can use it as a pre-soak if you have like bird droppings. Just allow it to soak for 30 to 45 seconds to break that down. So that's kind of like the things I wanted to kind of just point out. In order for you kind of figure out what the dilution ratio is, you have to come to application instructions. And when you're using it as a waterless and a rinseless, it has the same dilution for both, 1 to 250. And it gives you the breakdown here on how to use it. So I'm using it as a rinseless today, and so for a rinseless, it tells you for every gallon of water I'm going to add half an ounce or 15 milliliters of pure rinseless V2 concentrate. A 3-gallon bucket of water would require 1.5 ounces or 45 milliliters of pure rinseless V2. I made 3 gallons of water, so I'm going to pour out 45 milliliters of pure rinseless version 2. And we'll go over the different wash methods here in a second, because the directions on the website differ from the directions on the back of the label, and this is where people get a little thrown off because of what they tell you. And both labels for version 1 and version 2 are the same, and this is what it states. I'm going to read the one that has bigger print because I don't want to be squinting here. It says dilute 1 to 250 in a bucket of water to create a soapy solution. Prepare a second clean bucket of water. Dip your wash mitt into the soapy bucket and wash down a panel. Immediately dry the panel using a Feynlab towel. Rinse the wash mitt in the clean water bucket and repeat the process. So they both have that. Version 2 also has it in here as well. So they do recommend that if you're going to do with a wash mitt in here, that you're going to be using it in a 2-bucket style. If you're going to do it in a 2-bucket style, just bust out the hose and or your pressure washer and whatnot. And use your favorite shampoo. If you're going to be using multiple towels, you don't need that second bucket. If you're going to be using a sponge, maybe you're going to use that. I don't know. I've I've used the version 1 with a sponge by itself and never had a problem with it. I will mention the scent of this is not very good compared to version 1. It has a very citrus-like scent. I personally don't like it. It smells, you know what this smells like? It reminds me of Tarex. That's what it reminds me. So I'm going to pour out 45 milliliters of product here. And you can see the color change as well. So give or take right around there between 40 and 50. And I'm going to pour this out into the bucket. But you can see the color is a lot different than the original. So it's more orange based, probably because of the citrus type color to it. I'm going to bring the chair over here. Pour this into my bucket here, and we're just going to mix it up with the water. And you can see it's pretty heavy surfactant based just on the amount of suds you get in here. I mean, look at all that suds on there. Pre-soak. What I'm going to do, this is empty, is I'm going to just take some that I already made, and that's how I make an extra gallon. Just pour some back because I don't need all that in there. Okay. So let me put this back on here, and we're going to pump away. We're going to set this here for a second. I'm only going to dunk the sponge in here because I want to show you how much surfactants are in here. And you really see it only when you're using the sponge. Okay, so let me mix all that up. So you can see how much suds are in this thing when you try to use it with a sponge. And this is the ultra black sponge, so you can see how much suds I created with that. I'm not going to use it that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just use it with multiple towels into the bucket. That's the way I like using Feynlab Pure Rinseless, is with this. When you try it, like I said, when you use it with a sponge, even version 1 was pretty soapy. I'm blinding myself, so let me... So we're going to let this sit on the surface here for a second. I'll do half the hood and let it do its thing. I will come over and do the side glass here just to see it. This stuff is pretty strong. It starts breaking some of these, like these little guys here. You can see it loosened it up pretty easily. So what I'm going to do, take some of this. Yeah, that scent is not very good. So you can see it does clean pretty well. I'm gonna keep flipping my towel over because this car's pretty dirty. I haven't washed it in like 2 weeks. So just keep flipping your towel over. Now one thing you'll know with this is, I'm going to find a clean one, is it may not take off some of this caked on stuff in there. You might have to let it sit a little longer, like these didn't come off right away. And I pretty much used every single side already with this towel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a drying towel. I don't like using a drying aid with Feynlab, because what I found is it tends to negate the properties of the drying aids. I will come back later and touch it up because it does look, sometimes can be a bit streaky. So wiped off fine. I'll go ahead and wipe this side panel down. And you can see it didn't pick off this heavy caked on piece of something here. And it's been pre-soaking a little bit. That thing was really stuck on there. Yeah, if they can fix that scent, that'd be awesome, because it's not, when you take a whiff of this when you're using it, it's not very good. I mean, it gets to you. Okay, so I got another little caked on business. I'm gonna squeeze all this out, dump that in there. I'm done with that towel. And then I'll just wipe off the excess. Now, if you have just a spray sealant, a spray wax, something that's not very durable, this thing is gonna either degrade it or remove it. Just kind of know that going in, and you probably have to top it off again. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and soak this door. So I want to show you guys if it does streak less on glass than before. Bring this with me here. I'm gonna sit on the chair and we'll take a look at it here. So you can see it is pretty surfactant heavy. It actually does look, it's more surfactant heavy with this version. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off. Okay, so you can see it is picking up dirt here. I'm just going to clean the rest of this with the clean side. Oh, got a little visitor there. More clean sides on this towel. Yep. I believe I do. I'm not too worried about the Grand Prix right now. It's, you know, like I said, it's got clear coat failure on the roof. It's kind of a bummer, and on the trunk. So I'm gonna have to take this in and get repainted. So I haven't been caring for it that much, but the sides are pretty good. Okay, put that there, and we're gonna get their drying towel here. And we're going to see if this is streak free on the glass. Little bit of streaking here. tell you what, man, it cleans the surface really good though. Like, I haven't noticed any drawback in its cleaning ability. But it's still prone to streaking, because I can see streaks right here on the glass right here. I can see streaking here on the glass. So it is going to need a secondary wipe to get that off in there. So kind of know that going in, that it's still going to probably be a bit streaky on glass. And I don't see any other streaks. Is that on the end? I think that's... yeah. So once you come over with the other side of the towel, then it's you can address those streaks. But just know that going in, that it is still going to be a bit streaky. So I'm going to go ahead and finish washing the rest of the car here, and I will come back. I want to show you on that side because the glass is tinted. So I'm going to go ahead and finish washing this, and then I'll come back and give you final thoughts on version 2. So far I don't see any huge drawbacks, but again, we'll take a look at as I go around the entire vehicle and kind of just get my some more hands-on experience here. All right, so I'll be right back with final thoughts. Welcome back to final thoughts of Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 2. So let's just get right into it. Really, kind of what I want you guys to see, the difference between version 1 and version 2 is a minor tweak to the product. Think of this as like O&R, you know, going from like version 2 to version 3 to version 4 to version 5. You know, they're minor tweaks to make the product better and better and better. And that's what we're getting with version 2. You know, it's a minor formula tweak to the product. And so let's just get right to pros and cons of the product, and we'll get to the outro here. Now, one of the pros that I did like about this product is that they retained the cleaning ability from version 1. So I was really worried that when they made the formula tweak, that they were somehow going to mess up the cleaning ability between going from version 1 to version 2. So I'm glad that they retained the cleaning ability with version 2. The other thing I do like about this product is it does have real nice lubricity, and you can tell that it has better lubricity than version 1 on the surface when I was using it with microfiber towels. So let's get to the cons. The scent is not very good. So if they could change that, because it's very citrusy, and it reminds me of the same type of scent or similar type of scent as Carpro Taurix, which I was not a big fan of. So if they could just change it, go back to the original scent, or just somehow change it, put no scent. I'm good with no scent. That'd be pretty good. The other thing is, it has the same Achilles heel as version 1, where it's still streaky on glass. I had to come back and clean all my glass with glass cleaner because it just left residue behind. And then that brings us to the next thing is, you know, you could tell that there's more surfactants in version 2 than version 1, because it does. I mean, you can just see it in the bucket, and you can see it when you put any of those wash sponges that you're familiar with, and I put the black sponge in there. You can see it's very surfactant based heavy, and if you're using a sponge, it's going to leave a lot of you know, soapy residue behind, and it just makes for a nightmare to clean up. So if you use it with a microfiber towel or a wash mitt, you don't have that problem, and it's just easy to wipe off. So if you're going to use it with a sponge, you're going to have a hard time cleaning that up. I recommend using a wash mitt or microfiber towels. If you're going to use a wash mitt, yeah, you're probably going to want to use the 2 bucket style, because I don't know how good that this does for you know, 1 bucket in there. I would just recommend using multiple towels with this version, and just move on from there. And that's pretty much it for Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 2. I know people are going to ask you, like, well, do you recommend to go buy it or not? It's not as bad as what others have made it seem to be. It's actually still a good product. Sure, people are going to like certain characteristics of it, and some people are not going to like certain characteristics of it compared to the previous version. Again, think of this as a minor tweak to the product, so I don't think it's as bad as it's others have made it seem to be. I think it's still a good product. Should you go out and buy it? Here's my comment on that. If you have plenty of version 1, just use up all your version 1. You're not missing out going to version 2. Use up all your version 1, and then once you use up your version 1, just transition over to version 2, and you'll see that they're very similar in their overall performance. So that's where I'm at with the product. So that should save you some money. If you have, again, version 1, just use it up, and then transition over to version 2. I still think it's a real good product. I still think it does the best job deep cleaning a coating of any variation, to kind of just give it a deep clean. So again, thanks for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Take care.